where I'm seated today. And I had the opportunity of not just be listening to him, but even looking and reading his body language. And I was so convinced that the president really was aspiring hope to Kenyans. And the president really gave a history and a journey that Kenya has walked since he took over in less than a year, in almost a year ago. Madam Speaker, he managed to address several issues so important to Kenyans, ranging from matters economy and the trajectory of Kenya's economy, of course, my issues of food security, matters to do with the security, the housing, UHC, and many others. And I want to mention a few, and of course, starting on matters national security. And the president started by outlining what he committed to Kenyans, and that giving the national police the financial autonomy to enable them to execute their mandate in serving Kenyans and ensuring that Kenya is safe. And the president lived true to his promise to Kenyans that in presidential executive number 1, the president gave the police the financial autonomy, and I can confirm that as the chair of that committee, Madam Speaker. It is true that Kenya, we have been having security challenges ranging from cattle rustling, the terrorism, especially the issue of boundary in North Rift and Northeastern and actually some part of the country. And our very disciplined and committed and very competent security forces has continuously been executing their mandate to ensure that Kenya is safe. And it's just good to mention, Madam Speaker, that in the endeavor to make sure that our police officers and our security forces are well equipped to execute their mandate, the modernization program that the president has been promising to Kenyans is on course to ensure that our security forces are well equipped to address the security challenges. We can all confirm, Madam Speaker, that the issue of cattle rustling and boundary in North Rift has really significantly reduced. And even members in this house from that region can confirm the same. Of course, we have still a few challenges. They are not there, but we are really up to the task. You also mentioned about the issue of NYS, that we are going to double the intake and ensure that the 80% of the NYS are going to be taken during the future recruitment into our security forces, being the police or the KDF. Madam Speaker, on the issue of international obligation, we are on the right track as a country. It is true, we are proud to be Kenyans. Kenya has been known and they have really cemented their position in the global arena, especially in matters peace. We are currently participating in several countries, helping those countries stabilizing the peace. And even it is in this that I don't want to preempt, but we know, of course, the issue of anticipated deployment of our forces to Haiti to help that country to maintain their peace. Madam Speaker, on the issue of food security, the president was able to really put it in clear terms what the country, what the Kenya Kwanza has managed to do, starting from subsidy on fertilizers, which has enabled the produce, the food, which has really enabled, Madam Speaker, the harvest to double in less than a year. It was talked about issues to do with the provision, reducing the post-harvest by provision of the dryers. And I'm proud they talked about the first consignment is just on, it will be in the country in a short, maybe in a week or two. Madam Speaker, on the issues of UHC, we know that this House passed a bill to include the issue of Health Facility Improvement Fund, which will be able to ring-fence the funds that generally generated by health facilities to enable them, make sure that the funds are used to improve the facilities, and of course continue to make sure that our health facilities give the services, needed much services to Kenyans. And it is going to be a game changer, Madam Speaker. We know in communities where we come from, what really has continuously affected communities, at times even causing them to lose, even sell their property to include land, is the very high bills from the hospitals because of lack of cover, insurance cover. This is going to be a thing of the past once this program is rolled. And it is a big achievement, and it is a commitment and a promise that the President has really lived up to. Madam Speaker, on the issue of housing, and of course here seated right on my right hand is the chair, we have really made a progress, a very big progress on the same. There are a lot of housing units coming all over the country, and I'm sure it is in a due course, Kenyans are going to live in dignified manner. Madam Speaker, the other issue that I want really to talk about is the issue of the economy. And more importantly, the issue of the Eurobond, a debt that has continuously been a concern to Kenyans. It's true, as been reported by majority and members who have spoken ahead of us, we were in a hole. When the Kenya Kwanza government took over, we know the kind of burden, the kind of debts that are really on our shoulders. And we're so proud because the President had committed and promised the country that we are going to live to the obligation, and we are going to be able to be in a position to clear the debt, the 300 billion that is going to be due in due course. And it's something that, of course, it has been a concern to the country. And of course, we know the challenges that are there, including, of course, the issue of the fluctuation of the shilling against the dollar, the major currencies. We know, of course, the issue members have been talking about, the cost of living, the issue of the cost of petroleum product. But, Madam Speaker, it's good to note, and members should be very honest, it's an issue that is beyond Kenya as a country. It's a global challenge, it's a global problem. But the President is doing his best, the Kenya Kwanza government is doing their best to cushion Kenyans. Subsidy is never, Madam Speaker, a solution to it. And I think the President made it very clear. The right thing to do is to do subsidy to the production, not consumption. And that is exactly what they're doing. Where the government to government, Madam Speaker, is a mechanism and a means of trying to lower the cost of petroleum product. And if the President did not take the intervention, I'm sure we could be talking of a different story now. Madam Speaker, of importance, also the President talked about our continuous role to honor our international obligation as a country, and he went further to illustrate the several international security missions that Kenya forces are undertaking currently and even in the past. And it's something we are proud as Kenyan to, Madam Speaker, to mention that as a country, we had continuously making Kenya proud. So, Madam Speaker, to me, I think the President was able really to, not really mincing his own word, he shared a picture of a promising future. He managed to share a picture of a right trajectory, a country which is on the right path to prosperity. The challenges are going to be there, but we will surmount, Madam Speaker. We have the right captain steering the ship, and we are going in the right direction, Madam Speaker. So I want to say that the President managed really to talk on matters that affected Kenya, on the issue, of course, of the Asla Fund. He really mentioned, we were so surprised that he had the connection to even the Asla in the village. They are down, the tuk-tuk rider, who talked in their own words, on how the Hustler Fund had managed to transform their lives. So, Madam Speaker, we have a president, we have a captain, and we are proud to be Kenyan. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. And before I call the next, the Honorable Esther Passaris, member for Nairobi County, someone just asked, what did Honorable Ken Chonga do? For the avoidance of doubt, I asked him to leave under Standing Order 107A, which states that a member commits an act of gross disorderly conduct if the member defies a ruling or direction of the Speaker, declines to explain or retract use of unparliamentary words, and declines to offer apology despite being ordered to do so. And you saw that I severally requested Honorable Chonga to do so, and then demonstrates or makes disruptive utterances against, despite being asked not to do so. And you saw that even without the mic, he continued. So it's on that basis, because the standing order is quite clear, that the Speaker may call upon the member whose conduct is grossly disorderly to withdraw immediately from the presence of the Assembly for a minimum of 5 days and a maximum of 28 days. So he has to keep away from the presence of Parliament for 2 days. 5 days. Just wait. Just trying to quote that. I said 2 days. Just wait. Minimum of 5 days. Yes. Actually, it's a minimum of 5 days. So unfortunately, he has a minimum of 5 days. Let us proceed. The Honorable Member for Nairobi County. Member has not even spoken, Honorable Passaris. What is the point of order about? Because no one has spoken yet. Let's proceed, Honorable Passaris. No one has spoken yet. You can't have a point of order over nothing. Proceed.
Thank you,
Honorable
Honorable Kibagendi.